So, good morning everyone. We're about to present our exercise number 1.3, and it is all about the relationship between China and the Philippines. First, what is the relationship of China and Philippines? China and Philippines is a neighboring countries in the sea, and both have a history relations in the past. In terms of trading of products, allies in the Second World War, and both staking the claim of sovereignty in the Spratly Islands. Through times, both have influenced through economics, political, and social factors. So first, let's start with the economic factor. In 2012, China banned many fruit imports from the Philippines such as pineapples and bananas. The issue about the Philippine offshore gaming operator, or POGO, were raised when majority of the workers are Chinese nationals. China was the largest second trading partner of the Philippines. Binondo, Tondo, Pasig, and Makati were the places of major concentrations of interlinked companies between China and Philippines. So these are some economy and trade between China and the Philippines. As we can see, the numbers are higher in the past. So the sample is US dollars, which is 1.272 billion in development assistance to the Philippines from China from 2002 until 2013. So we can see they have really relationship in terms of economic. So when it comes to tourism, an estimated of 680,000 Chinese visitors to the Philippines in 2016. Also, an estimated of 1.2 million Filipino visitors to China in 2016.
Over the 34 years, China and Philippines relations in general have attained a smooth development and remarkable achievements in all areas of bilateral cooperation. Since the establishment of diplomatic relations, there has been a frequent exchange of high-level visits between the China and the Philippines. In political relationship between the Philippines and the China uses their economic power to influence the Philippine politics, and this include the issue between the two countries about the West Philippine Sea and the Scarborough Shoal. In 2000, China and the Philippines signed the joint statement between China and the Philippines on the framework of bilateral cooperation in the 21st century, which confirmed that the two sides will establish a long-term and stable relationship on the basis of good neighborliness, cooperation, mutual trust, and benefit. The China can also use Chinese businessmen to influence Philippine politics. For example, Henry C. Henry C. is famous here in the Philippines because he is the founder of SM Investment. Another example is Lucio Tan. Lucio Tan is a businessman and educator with interest in banking, airline, liquor, tobacco, real estate industries, beverages, and education.
The social relationship between China and the Philippines. In 2019, there were 1.71 million Chinese tourists who visited the Philippines. There was a 38.58% increase of Chinese tourists from 2018. China is the second highest tourist who visited the Philippines. The first one is Korea. On November 12 to 16, China Premier Li Keqiang visited the Philippines. He was the first Chinese premier to visit the Philippines in 10 years. There are many Chinatowns in the Philippines, specifically four. The first one is Manila. It has the oldest Chinatown in the world and is where a lot of Chinese settled during the Spanish rule. In Quezon City, it was made in 2005 for a special economic growth area. In Iloilo City, it was also called the Chinese Triangle and has a Filipino-Chinese friendship arc was constructed to show the relationship between China and the Philippines. Davao City has the largest Chinatown in the world, having approximately 44 hectares. There are also a lot of Chinese schools found in the Philippines like Jubilee Christian Academy and Xavier School.
So after we discuss about the three factors. Next is what is the impact of Chinese traditions in the Philippines? So we have here some pictures that shows that Chinese have influenced the Philippines in many ways, like in New Year's celebration and when it comes to their foods and the fireworks. So as we explain this, Chinese culture in the Philippines. First is the celebration of Chinese New Year were done in the Philippines and it is also a special holiday. Also, the callings of Kuya and Ate as the elder child in the Philippines, as we show respect to them. Also, when the Philippines celebrates the New Year, it is celebrated with firecrackers. Where it comes from? It comes from the belief of Feng Shui, which the fireworks can throw bad luck and spirits. So Philippines also influenced by the most of the foods in China like pancit, lumpia, and fried rice. So this is the explanation about these features. Thank you for listening.